Hello and welcome to Becoming Abundant podcast. I am your host, Anna Maria Jinga, and this is our side of the internet where we get to speak about true abundance, personal authority, emotional optimization, and the pure power of alignment, all while living in the presence and guidance of God Himself. I am a holistic coach and mentor focusing on healing the emotions keeping you stuck so that the mind and body can align and live a limitless life. We all have a mission and a purpose, and I am here to help you unchain from what's been holding you back to actually live in your full potential. Think of it as transformative triggering in the best possible way. The time has come to live a life you love. Let's dive in. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to this week's episode of Becoming Abundant podcast. I am your host, Anna Maria Jinga. Here we are, another week, another fabulous topic. And if you're here for the very first time, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what brought you to the podcast. I want to hear a hello, your backstory. Share with me in the comments below anything you want to share. And I'm very excited to welcome you. If you're here for the longest time and you haven't commented yet, yes, Kasia, I am reminding people to comment. I have a dear friend, Kasia. I bless you. Thank you for always being in my corner and reminding me to be a proper content creator. I'm reminding people to comment in my comment section now because that's how we get to grow this community. We get to support each other. We get to be together. We get to share our ideas and our comments and our support for one another. So if you do not comment in our comment section here on the podcast or in the YouTube channel, wherever you're watching or listening to me now, you might be missing out on meeting a lot of really cool people, including myself. So make sure you comment. Let's comment, let's like, let's share, let's spread the word of this magical, powerful community that we're building because becoming abundant is a whole movement. Would you agree? I do. And we're also going to be building more momentum, making matching t-shirts, maybe some jackets, some of those jersey jackets, and we can recognize each other in the wild, in society, wherever we walk. We're gonna be like, be salty and bright. Hi. Super cute. What did you guys think of last week's podcast episode? I had a few of you commenting about how much it meant for them to help them understand the actual role that we have. So if you haven't listened to that one, go ahead and listen before this one because it's a very powerful message that I delivered that I was just a vessel for. Most of the times I start talking about something and then the Holy Spirit kind of takes the wheel and pours out information through me and I'm like, I'll just be here. Okay. So this is your also reminder to take care of your body as your temple because the Holy Spirit needs a clean, healthy, strong, potent body to inhabit and share God's news. Mm-mm-mm. Shall we do that? Shall we do that? Yes. But for this week, my loves, we will be talking about boundaries and priorities. As I was mentioning in the previous episode, December is one of my favorite months of the year after my birthday month in September, because September is just magical in itself. I was born and that's it. But no, joke aside, December is so powerful. It's the end of a whole year. It's the conclusion of all of the work you've done. Christ is born, and we're celebrating that at Christmas. We get to slow down and enjoy more family time, more connection, more love, more space for miracles to happen. Hint, hint. I'm still collecting your stories and messages about miracles that we get to share and I get to share in our next episode. So, episode 18 will be full of stories about miracles. And I'm collecting all of them from you. So, make sure you send me an email, send me a text, send me an audio, send me a comment. Comment below any miracle that you've had this year. because I want to share it and inspire more people to not only make space for the miracle, but sometimes even be the miracle that other people need. So why not be the miracle that someone needs? I have been that, and I am humbled every time I'm being called a miracle. So let yourself take space and be the miracle for other people. It's going to change your life. I promise you that. Now, this week, we are discussing all about boundaries and priorities. And why is that important, especially in December? My loves, if you have ever been through a madness holiday season, you know that boundaries and priorities take not only the back seat of that car, they're not even in the trunk of that car. There's no boundaries, there's no priorities. We're only making things happen to make other people happy. Sometimes we're doing things during the holiday season just to show up a certain way, just to meet other people's expectations, just to tick off check marks on a to-do list, just to do things as other people are doing without even stopping to think about, why are we doing this? What is going on? Is this really important, urgent, such a priority? Or am I just doing it to not make other people sad, not feel heard, or whatever that might be? Because during the holiday season, we change our whole persona. We become, and by we, I'm generalizing. Maybe you're not that. And if you're not that, go team, you've done the healing, you've done the work that I'm talking about. But if you are the person that gets so caught up in the stories, in what other people are expecting of you, in how to show up a certain way just to make sure that you are meeting everyone else's expectations of you, but actually not taking care of you, this is for you. When holiday season comes, some of us lose our damn minds. We also lose our identities, not because we want to do that, but because we're trying to make everyone else happy. And this is where boundaries and priorities need to come in play. Because who are we when we make others happy, pleasing others? We tend to lose ourselves. So if we lose ourselves, what's going on there? What is going on? And here's a fun story. When I was a child, you know my stories of when I was a child. When I was a child, I believed in Santa, such as probably most of you, if not all of you. And as believing in Santa was a big deal for me, I found myself saying my wish to Santa in a magical hairbrush that my friend and I decided that it's magical. And my friend came from a more wealthy family than I. And in that brush, I asked for a Barbie doll. And my friend asked for a Barbie doll too. I also asked for a cat. She asked for, I don't know, whatever else. Whose wishes did you think came true? My friend got all of her wishes, and I didn't get anything. I got an old Cindy doll. I got the usual fruits and sweets and all of the things that we usually got for Christmas. And that was it. And I was beyond disappointed. Not only did I realize that Santa's crap, please don't listen to this with kids around. Disclaimer. A little too late for disclaimer, but let's go with it. Not only did I not believe in Santa anymore, I also realized how much of a lack I had around me. And Christmas always felt just less than magical since then. Fast forward to when I was the first year of my son's life. After we had him in May, we had our first Christmas together. It was wonderful. I did everything in my power to make him absolutely ecstatic. I got him all of the cool things. I decorated the house. I did all of the fun activities together, only to realize that the reaction was like, meh, meh, meh. It was one. He was not even one. He was half a one. So I tried again the next year and the next year and the next year. And the more I tried to do it, the more I realized that I was doing it for me. And then other years, I was doing it to impress people that were watching my stories, my parents and in laws, that I was doing so much for my child, but I wasn't paying attention to what he wanted. And what he wanted was literally, let's hang out, let's play together, let's sure get me a Lego toy, whatever I want, but let's connect. I was missing the point because I wasn't putting him as a priority. I was putting my expectations of what things needed to look like on the outside, but not on the inside. On the inside, I was miserable. And on the inside, I was missing making him happy. Because Christmas, at the end of the day, if we're talking about Santa and presents and all of those things, it's about making kids happy. And it's about giving space for kids to discover the magic of the season, which the magic of the season is more in the giving and not so much in the receiving. Even though sometimes the receiving part needs to be learned. So we'll get into that. Two things we're going to talk about today. One, make it more about the giving. And why I'm saying this. When we constantly want to show up a certain way because of other people's expectations of us, especially in this holiday season, we will be missing the point of everything. We will be making ourselves miserable, exhausted, burned out, you name it. We will not be fully present for our family and especially our kids, moms and grandmas out there. Mm-mm-mm. Your kids and grandkids just want you there, just want you present, just want to hang out with you, just want to feel the connection and the love and the presence from you. They will love the gifts for about 25 minutes. And I'm saying that hand on heart. Those 25 minutes are going to be fabulous. And after an hour has passed, you're not going to see any joy from those gifts. What will be joyful will be making breakfast together, going on an adventure together, laughing and playing Uno. Side note, we've been doing that in the household, in the Jinga household for the past couple of days, and it has been perfect, I can tell you. Because the biggest thing that kids actually need is a fully functioning, nervous system regulated, present, and happy parent and grandparent. So when you think of that, my question about this is, what is something that needs to change this holiday season so that you get to show up more like that? What needs to change in what you're planning and what you're putting together so that you actually get to be more present and more alive, more connected with your whole family and the family that's important. Now, second thing about receiving that I want to talk about is, do you know how to receive? How to receive someone's compassion, how to receive help, how to receive a gift that comes to you, how to receive space to take care of you. Do you know how to receive? I realized a few years ago that I didn't know when to stop. And I didn't know when to stop, not just because I didn't know how to just pause doing life on fast forward, but I didn't feel worthy enough to stop and breathe and smell the roses type of thing. Because I believe somewhere in my mind that the more I did, the happier people are. But I was overwhelming people around me, I was stressing out my family, and I was burning myself out. So when we don't know how to actually receive space, compassion, presence from others, we will not know how to give it back either. So the second question is, do you know how to receive? And what is something that needs to change for you in order to actually create the space for you to receive more of what people want to give you? More love, more compassion, more presence, more gifts, more free time, more experiences, more connection, more of each other. Are you ready to receive more of each other without trying to control it? That is the secret question. Now, as we move forward with my little talk about boundaries and priorities, another thing that I realized during the holiday season, especially, is that we do not know how to prioritize what's important, but also we do not know how to put boundaries around the families that we have around us. And that doesn't mean don't spend time with your family. It's actually the opposite. When we do spend time with our family, know that most of the time, and I'll actually have a little story about this. Most of the time, our families are also hurting from whatever they've been going through in the past, and something from you is triggering them just as much as something from them is triggering you. So I had earlier today a client, beautiful, awesome client. We are working on understanding patterns and how to function in a family that doesn't understand that the lifestyle that they're living is affecting them. And even though the lifestyle that they're living is affecting them, we cannot control them. So we were working on that for the past few sessions. And when we are in the space of connecting with family. So as I was working with my client around understanding the boundaries that he can put around family gatherings, he realized that, and we were working on this concept that no matter how much we want to love the other person and want to take care of them and help them do better and be better, it has to come from them. And if it comes our reaction, if our reaction comes at a cost of the peace that's around the gathering, maybe it's not as important to share our reaction to either a trigger or whatever is coming up. So, as I was talking to my client about his experience with a family gathering that he recently went to, where he felt that if he would stay longer there, it would go again into a fight. So he decided, after we worked together around the mindset, around how to show up at these family gatherings, around how to control his emotions, because his natural way of doing things is love and connection and peace. But whenever he was triggered by these situations, he would go into the opposite of anger and fiery energy. So, as you probably remember from one of my earlier episodes, the opposite of peace is anger. So, whenever he would go into the space of wanting to control a situation, but he couldn't, he would fall out of his peace, out of his love, out of his balance into full anger, and everything would be lost then. But the thing is, when he realized that it was happening this turn, he got to pause. And after he realized that he could pause, he decided to leave. A day earlier than his trip was meant to leave to finish, but he got to actually control his emotions so that he didn't go back into falling out of peace and into anger. So that was a boundary that he learned to put. So after he realized that he can put that boundary, he still felt uneasy. So we work today on understanding that no matter how much you work on putting a boundary, that doesn't mean that it's going to feel easy at first. So boundaries, one, need to be put before you fall out of your grace, but also reinforce so that your nervous system gets desensitized to reacting aggressively whenever a trigger happens. So when we have these boundaries put in place, it's not just to protect yourself, but to also protect the other person as well. We're putting boundaries in place to create more peace. We're putting boundaries in place to bring forth more understanding, to show up more in a loving situation. That doesn't mean that when things happen, you cannot have a discussion. But if the discussion escalates to such a degree where it would ruin a holiday, ask yourself, does it even matter to make that discussion happen if the other person is not ready to hear it? Or if it would be the cost of finding peace and enjoyment and a happy memory out of the experience itself. So, kind of circling back to all of the things that we were talking today about, I'll leave you with three big points. One, priorities over expectations are important. Two, as I give you a thumbs up. Two, when we prioritize receiving as much as giving, we also start putting ourselves on the list of, hey, I'm important, I'm a priority as well. And then three, we have the need for healthy boundaries so that we can actually create the space of beautiful, memorable experiences without falling out of grace and into anger. So, all of that is me saying to you, hey guys, what are some things that need to change this holiday season so that you sit in a space of more emotional control, more boundaries around how you show up and how things are affecting you, and more healthy and intentional priorities of what things actually matter. What types of things, experiences actually matter? And when you have those answers, think how you want to make this holiday season different than all the other ones. What is really important and what needs to be brought to light so that you can actually enjoy a holiday season that is more fulfilling and not so much a marathon of checklists. We don't like marathons, do we? Maybe only the runners in you guys love the marathons. I'm not a big runner, so the only marathons I love are my mentoring calls. Those are the best marathons I can possibly sign up for. So, my loves, I will leave you with that. I'll leave you with the homework of figuring out what needs to shift this holiday season. I'm looking forward to hearing all of the messages and texts and emails and notes from you guys. Send everything my way on my email at info@becomingabundant.net or on any of my socials at I am becoming abundant. I'm really excited to hear how this message has served you and how this message actually helps you have a more fulfilling, magical, and powerful holiday season. Now, until next time, my loves, remember to prioritize yourselves, put boundaries where they need to be, and be more intentional with what really matters. And until next week, remember, be salty and bright. I love you. Bye now.